all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for tuning in. I'm Alex Matthew and this is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint. We get you everything that you need to know at the start of your day, come rain or shine. And boy, has it been raining here in Mumbai. If you live here too, do check with your office places before you venture out. Let's take you through the big updates. The goods and services tax collections fell below the 1 lakh crore mark after 3 months. Collections for the month of May stood at 99,939 crore rupees, according to a statement by the Ministry of Finance. That's a decline of 0.3% over April and an increase of nearly 4.5% over the year-ago period. Speaking about the GST, it could well become a two-rate tax with the merger of a couple of slabs. Former Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said the 12% and the 18% slabs in the goods and services tax could be merged going forward as revenues increase. ICRA Ratings has decided to send its Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Naresh Thakkar on forced leave, pending inquiry into concerns raised by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. Reliance Infrastructure has announced its plan to monetize its office building located in Mumbai's Santa Cruz East and said the proceeds would be used to repay debt. In an exchange filing, the company said that it plans to do this by way of long-term lease and it will utilize all of the proceeds only for debt reduction. The government has significantly revised the growth in 8 core sector industries for April, even as the segments grew by 5.1% in May. According to a Commerce and Industry Ministry statement, the growth rate for these 8 key sectors in April has been revised to 6.3% from 2.6% reported earlier, mainly due to upward revisions in the production of coal, crude oil, steel, cement and electricity. The government has extended the term of Reserve Bank of India Deputy Governor N.S. Vishwanathan by 1 year, according to an order by the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. Vishwanathan's term was set to end on the 3rd of July, that is tomorrow. In international news, a group of Hong Kong protesters occupied and ransacked the city's legislative chamber yesterday in an escalation of demonstrations against the China-appointed government. The city's leader, Carrie Lam, condemned what she called the use of extreme violence, then promised, without specifics, to govern in a more inclusive way. Riot police fired tear gas after demonstrators smashed their way into and then vandalized the city's legislative council. A peaceful march earlier had drawn hundreds of thousands of people. The US has promised to supplement a list of 89 tariff subheadings with a trade value of about $4 billion that could be subject to additional trade levies. The US Trade Representative wants to enforce US rights in the World Trade Organization dispute against the European Union over subsidies on large civil aircraft, according to a WTO statement. In international markets, US stocks ended higher on the back of the announcement of the truce in the trade war between the US and China over the weekend. The Dow and the S&P 500 ended higher by 0.4 and 0.8% respectively, while the Nasdaq climbed over 1%. In Asia, the early risers have begun mixed, though. With that, it's over to Darshan Mehta for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Darshan. How are we looking today?
Hi Alex, good morning everyone. The global cues were decent. The SGX Nifty currently is indicating a flattish outlook. But we continue with the weak trend in auto sales numbers. After the numbers that came out during market hours, including the Ashok Leylands and Marutis of the world, Hero MotoCorp disappointed. The June sales were at 6.16 lakh units versus the estimate of 6.25. Tata Motors came out with a slightly better set of numbers. June sales were at 49,000 units versus the estimate of 46,500. Eicher was disappointing, 58,339 units versus the estimate of 63,500. TVS also weak numbers at 2,97,000 versus the estimate of 3.10. And SML Isuzu sales were down 24% at 1,214 units. The other news was Sadbhav Infra Project. The board has approved the sale of the entire stake in 9 SPV to InvIT Trust. The sale value is at 6611 crore, which includes 7 toll road assets and 2 annuity infra assets. And the equity value that the company will get is 2550. The company says that they will see deconsolidation of net debt of 4,000 crores due to this deal. And CLSA says that it's a big deleveraging and a crystallized premium value for its infra assets. Again, Cox & Kings, for the second time, they've defaulted. Now they've paid just 15 crores out of the 65 crores that they had to pay, and they've defaulted 50 crores. Earlier on June 27, they had defaulted 150 crores, and the same reason was given. The default has been triggered due to a temporary mismatch in the liquidity situation. JSW Energy says that the proposed acquisition of the thermal plant in Chhattisgarh from JSPL stands terminated because of the long stop date. In 2016 May, the company had agreed to acquire a 1,000 megawatt plant from JSPL. MRPL says that the water supply has resumed in stages from June 6 onwards and the refineries have started. Prakash Industries, some bit of positive news. They have received grant of surface right permission to open iron ore mine in Odisha, which has a reserve of 9.9 million tons. IL&FS Transport defaulted in payments to investors aggregating to 24 crores. ICRA has placed the MD and CEO Naresh Thakkar on leave with immediate effects because of concerns raised in an anonymous representation forwarded to the company by SEBI. The current CFO has been appointed the interim chief operating officer. MOIL has increased the price of silico-manganese grade by 5%. The prices of other products remain unchanged. And finally, from the brokerages, Nomura has cut the target price of CEAT to 817 from the earlier 980. They believe expansion in competitive and capital-intensive segment to impact ROCEs and adverse mix to keep EBITDA margins subdued. Havells, HSBC's raised the target price to 850 from 775 on strong earnings growth outlook. However, Credit Suisse, in a similar note, has said that the company is entering a soft growth patch driven by the macro slowdown. And Macquarie's come out with a large note on the pharma sector. They've upgraded Dr. Reddy's and Glenmark to outperform. Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Jubilant Life and Strides are the top pick, while Lupin stays the top underperform. But there's much more you need to know before trade actually starts. For that, log on to our website bloombergquint.com and click on the All You Need to Know tab, and you will be prepared for morning trade.
Thanks, Darshan. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but there's a lot more on the website bloombergquint.com, so do check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a lovely day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.